his life. Instead of being one who decides how to. You say you want to be the leader. You say you want to be the head of the household. But rather than you follow the path that is paved for them by men who actually did the want your family. It requires resources. You have none. You want to make decisions about your own life, but every choice you try gets blocked by the same pathetic answer: I cannot afford it. That is not freedom. That is a cage. Everyone around you can see you in a cage, so they treat you accordingly. They do not ask your opinion on serious matters because you have not proven you can handle serious matters. They do not come to you for help because you are the one who always needs help. They do not look at you and think strong. They think struggling. And struggling men do not command respect. They inspire pity. Pity is poison. Pity is what people feel for the weak, the broken, and the dying. You do not want pity. You want respect. But respect only comes when you demonstrate strength. And in the real world, money is one of the clearest indicators of strength because it proves you can produce results under pressure. Think about every man you respect. Every single one has something in common. They handled their business, they paid their own way, they solved problems, and they took care of people. That is what earns respect. Now think about the men no one respects. The ones always borrowing, always complaining, always talking about what they're going to do while years pass and nothing changes. You do not want to be that guy. But if you are broke and don't do anything about it, that is exactly who you are. You want your resources and the ability to handle yourself. Be ignored, dismissed, and eventually forgotten. This is especially in relationships. A woman might love you when you're broke, but she will not respect you if you stay broke and do nothing about it. She will lose attraction because attraction is tied to strength. And cannot even handle some finances is not strong. It is a liability. Start making decisions. Start losing faith in your ability to protect and provide. And before you cry about gold diggers, understand that wanting a man who has his life together is not shallow. It is survival instinct. No quality woman wants to build a life with a man who cannot even build his own life first. She wants a partner, not a project. If you are broke with no plan, no hustle, and no fire, you are a project, not a prize. Your children will not respect you if you cannot provide for them properly. They will grow up watching you stress, struggle, and fail to give them the life other kids have, and they will internalize the fact that you are strong. They will not say it to your face, but they will feel it, and that will shape how they see you forever. You do not want your kids growing up ashamed of their father, but that is exactly what happens when you are broke and stay broke. You become the cautionary tale instead of the example. You become the reason they leave town and never look back instead of the foundation they built on. That's what being a broke man costs you. It costs you your legacy. So stop pretending money does not. Stop find philosophy and spirituality and all the other coping mechanisms that we use to build our lives. Money matters because it is a tool that allows you to take everyone you plan to care about. You are weak. Weak men do not respect. They get tolerated until someone stronger shows up. Tolerated until people get tired of carrying. Tolerated until you become invisible. That is your future if you stay like this. Invisible, irrelevant, and ignored. What are you going to say today? Done being weak, and done being the man nobody takes seriously. You can choose to become dangerous. Learn a skill that makes money. Build something that generates value. Work harder than everyone around you. Sacrifice comfort now for power later. Become the man who wants to improve and people feel his presence because his life is proof that he does not quit, does not make excuses, and does not accept defeat. That man gets respect. That man gets listened to. That man gets to live life on his terms. Be that man who spend the rest of your life being. You can barely afford a piece of bread, and still you won't return. Shame. You sit there broke, slowly laughing at me all life. Things that stand. Take everything is fine, but your wallet is empty. Somehow you still think you're
Honey.
you joke about being broke with your friends like it is funny that you cannot help your parents, cannot invest in yourself, and cannot buy what you want without checking the price 10 times. There is nothing funny about being unable to protect the people you love. There is nothing funny about watching your parents grow older while you still sit in the same room on the same bed with the same phone, doing nothing but dreaming. You say money isn't everything, but you only say that because you do not have it. If money truly didn't matter, you would not feel that frustration every time you have to ask for help. You would not feel that humiliation when you have to say no to play expensive. Still, with all that pain in your chest, you're not trying. Shame on you. There are men out there who started with less than you. No support, no connections, no comfort, and they decided that being poor was not an identity. It was a temporary situation to escape from. They used their anger as fuel. You use your anger as an excuse. You sit and say, my country, my city, my family, my circumstances, as if you are the only person in history with problems. You think poverty is a prison with no door. But the truth is, the door is open, and you refuse to stand up. Cursed. You are not committed to cheap acting, full of average clothes, full of borrowed money, see you next month, and doing, you are pouring money for an effort. You can afford a piece of bread and still spend hours in your phone days to learn a skill, making calls, sending messages, sell, time to net, time anything. Do you understand how insane that is? Reality is screaming at you. Wake up, you are losing. And you mute it with videos, games, and gossip. It should disgust you to be unable to pay for your own life. It should burn your insides and your parents still worry about money while you sit in another room staring at a screen. You want respect. You don't earn results. You want people to admire you, but for what? For surviving? Everyone survives. Real respect comes when you're the person who changed the situation, not the one who cried about it. You think rich people are lucky? No, they are relentless. They worked when they were tired, they learned when they were confused, they tried, failed, and tried again while you were stuck in the planning phase of your life for the 3rd year in a row. Look at your day with full honesty. How many hours did you invest in your future today? Not think, not dream, not talk. Actually invest. How many hours did you spend building a skill, creating something, offering value? Push your limits. If the answer is close to 0, then you know why you are poor. Or not unlucky, or inactive. You can barely afford a piece of bread, and that should be your villain origin story, not your aesthetic. Poverty can be the reason you become dangerous, not the excuse to stay weak. Struggling and still choose laziness. The situation is bad and still wait for someone instead of becoming. No one is coming. No one is going to knock on your door and you have the life you want. If you stay like this, the only thing to give you is more already have stress, anxiety, regret, and the constant humiliation of knowing you could have done more and didn't. Use the shame problem. Let it slap you in the weight. Let it drive you to war against your own laziness. Today, fine. If you're still poor in 5 years with the same habits, that's not fate. That is your choice. Stand up and work like your life depends on it. Because it does. You wake up, grab your phone, scroll. And you wonder why your life is a joke compared to the people you watch. You look at men with money, bodies, respect, and power, and you convince yourself they got lucky. They had help. They had rich parents. They had connections. Anything to avoid the truth that would burn your ego to ashes. The truth is simple. You're not losing because the world is against you. You are losing because there is no fire inside your chest. Excuses to keep going. You are not tired. You are not undisciplined. You are not depressed. You are drowning in a love that kills the warrior spirit. Look at your day honestly for once. You have snoozed 3 times. You lie in bed staring at a screen. You eat garbage. You complain about school, college, your job, parents, government, inflation. Everything except the one person who actually controls your life. You. There are people your age waking up before sunrise, going to the gym, working on side hustles, learning skills, pushing their limits, and you're sitting there telling yourself one day, as if time cares about your prayers. And you think the universe owes you success because you want it really badly, while you cannot even keep a promise to yourself for 7 days straight. You want a millionaire lifestyle with minimum wage discipline. You want respect while living like a joke. That's why you are losing. Not because you are weak genetically, but because you accepted weakness mentally. Somewhere along the line, you became comfortable being average, and that comfort is killing you slowly. One scroll, one skipped workout, one ignored opportunity at a time. You feel that emptiness at night when you are alone with your thoughts, that heavy feeling in your chest that whispers it could be so much good. That voice is the lack of fire left inside you. Instead of feeding you with action, something like that. And keep looking for motivation to something they are few. Motivation is not. It is a strong. Fuel is weak. Back in the watch a clip, nod your head, say facts in the comments, and you go back to the same lazy routine. You think your problem is that you haven't found the right video yet? No. Your problem is you have not decided to become dangerous yet. Fire is not something you find. It starts the first day you decide I'm done being a weak version of myself, and actually prove it with action. Not talk, not dreams, not vision boards. Action. Think about the man you want to be in 5 years. Stronger, richer, respected, calm, dangerous, disciplined. Now compare him to the man you are today. Unfocused, tired, scrolling, complaining, emotional, easily distracted. The distance between those two men is not long. It is hours of work you are refusing to do. Every time you choose comfort over effort, you vote against your future self. Every time you skip the gym, you are telling your body to stay weak. Every time you waste 3 hours on your phone, you are telling your brain to stay empty. Every time you say you are telling your soul you don't why you feel empty. Not because life is meaningless, because you are betraying yourself. Winners are not special humans. Winners are people who are sick of their own mindset. They have the same laziness, the same fear, the same doubt, and they refuse to be controlled by it. Fire is waking up from your bed is warm, your body screams sleep, and you get up anyway. Fire is going to the gym when your legs hurt, your back hurts, and your mind is full of excuses if you lift anyway. Fire is opening the laptop, studying, building, and learning when everyone else is wasting time. Fire is saying no to friends who want to drag you back into mediocrity. Fire is choosing pain now so you do not live in regret later. Look at the people you admire, the entrepreneurs, the athletes, the warriors. They are not addicted to comfort, they're addicted to progress. They wake up with pressure, stress, and problems just like you, but they treat those problems like weights in the gym, something to lift, not something to run from. Meanwhile, you treat every difficulty like proof that you should quit. One bad day and you disappear. One setback and you call yourself dead. You get rejected once, and suddenly it's not meant for you. Do you understand how soft that is? Life is not attacking you. Life is testing you. And so far, you're failing the test because your fire dies at the first sign of flame. You need to become the kind of person who gets more dangerous the harder life is. If someone insults you, you prove so much from their worth. If your bank account is embarrassing, use that pain as pure gem. Build the skills until money changes. If your body is weak, skinny, or fat, perfect. That means every workout will show up. If you stay consistent for 6 months, you won't see any of that. If you keep living like a spectator in your own life, you watch other people's stories all day. You celebrate their wins while you haven't even started your own game. In reality, no one is coming to save you. No one cares about your excuses, and no one will cry for the life you wasted. The world only respects your toes. You either show up with strength, money, discipline, and value, or you get ignored. That's how the game is played. You can call it unfair, or you can become so powerful that fairness doesn't matter. The fire inside you starts the day you decide you are done being the victim of everything and the master of nothing. It starts when you look at your life and say, this is my fault. And that's it. It is my fault. I can fix it. Your laziness personally. Treat it like an insult. Every time you feel like skipping the gym, you are training yourself to be a loser. Every time you avoid difficult work, remember, you are choosing a future where people talk over you, earn more than you, and control you. That doesn't work you decide that it will already finish. But if it does, even a little, that spark is your chance. Start small, but start violently. Wake up earlier than usual tomorrow, even if it is just 1 hour. Do a workout, even if your muscles scream. Spend one focused hour learning a skill that can make you money. Sales, coding, editing, design, anything. Delete apps that waste your time. Distance yourself from people who are comfortable being failures. Write down exactly who you want to be, and then act like that person now, not one day. Your environment is gasoline. Choose whether it feeds your fire or kills it. Deep down, you know you were not built for a boring, unnoticed life. You feel that calling in your chest. That's your soul recognizing what you can become if you stop your dreams. So understand this clearly. You are losing right now. Not because you lack talent, not because life is hard, but because you lack fire. Build it, protect it, and then let the entire world feel that heat. If you are broke, trust us. Nobody respects you. Nobody in this world, not even your parents. Before you start crying about how harsh that sounds, look at reality. When you have no money, no discipline, and no results, people may love you, but they do not take you seriously. They acknowledge when you talk, but they do not believe in you, because even you do not believe in you. Your parents might care for you, they might feed you, they might worry about you, but deep inside they're disappointed that their own blood grew up and still cannot stand on his own 2 feet. They will never say it directly, but you can feel it in their eyes when the bill comes, and they are still the ones paying while you sit there useless. You feel that sting when they tell relatives he is still figuring things out, because that is a polite way of saying he has not done anything yet. The world is brutally simple. Value first, respect second. When you are broke, you are not providing value to anyone, not to your family, not to your community, and not to yourself. You are just consuming their food, their electricity, their time, and their emotion. You are not a responsible, not an asset. That is why no one listens when you talk big. That is why things get dismissed. That's why nobody rushes to follow your leadership. And you can shout about your dreams all day, but until you bring results, words are air. Listen to the man who can make solve the problem, who can open a door, not the man who needs help with everything. Even your friends treat you differently when you are broke. They start making plans without you because they know you can't afford it. They stop asking you for advice on serious matters because they look at your life and you can't even fix his own situation. You become the mean friend, the funny guy, the chill guy, everything except the respected guy. Deep down, that eats you alive. You pretend you do not care. You say things like real ones don't judge by money. But in your gut, you know that when you have nothing, you are easier to ignore. When you speak, your words do not carry weight because your life does not back them up. This is not about worshiping money. This is about understanding how humans work. Respect is tied to responsibility. When you can protect, provide, produce results, people look at you differently. When you are the man who can help, who can fix, who can pay, who can move things forward, suddenly your phone gets answered faster, your opinions get heard longer, and your presence feels heavier in the room. Right now, when you are broke and lazy, your presence is light, easy to open. You feel it yourself. When you enter a room with successful people, you become quieter. Because you know. So do not hide behind company. It doesn't matter. Or real love is unconditional. Love can be unconditional, but respect is not. Respect is earned. Your parents do not want you to worship money. They want you to stop being a burden. They want to see you strong enough to carry your own weight and then some. The day you can tell your parents, don't worry, I got this, and actually mean it, is the day their respect for you changes. But until then, understand the position you are in. Broken, dependent, and easy to remove. Let that sting. Let it humiliate you enough to transform you. You can stay broke and demand respect from a world that only listens to results. Or you can become the kind of man whose life is so solid that nobody can help but respect him when he walks into a room. Having money is extremely important in life. I agree that with money, but without money you cannot buy anything. And that is a trap most people do not understand until it is too late. They romanticize poverty like it is noble, like being broke makes you more real or humble. But all it really makes you is powerless. You cannot buy happiness directly, sure, but try being happy when you cannot afford the doctor, when your parents are sick. Try being at peace when you cannot pay rent and you might get kicked out. Try being calm when every emergency becomes a crisis. But you have no buffer, no safety, and no options. Money is also lack of money creates most of them. Every stress conversation in your house is about money. Every fight your parents had with money, most of them traced back to money. Every time you killed before it started, you killed it because you thought you could not afford to chase it. That is what being broke does. It does not just take your comfort, it takes your choices. When you have money, you have options. When you have options, you have freedom. When you have freedom, you can breathe. Right now, you are suffocating and pretending it is fine. You tell yourself, at least I have my health. But you are not even taking care of your health because the gym costs money, and food see the lie you were living? You are pretending money does not matter, while your whole existence is limited by the lack of it. Without money, you cannot invest in yourself. You cannot take that course, buy those books, afford that mentor, travel to that opportunity, or take the risk that could change everything. You are stuck and you call it being grounded. No, you are being buried alive in mediocrity. Look at what money actually buys. It buys your parents comfort in their old age. It buys your own confidence when you walk into any room knowing people are not there to beg. It buys respect, not because people are shallow, but because money is proven to solve problems, added value, not results. It buys time, the one thing you can never get back. Because when you are rich, you do not waste hours on cheap transport, jobs you hate, just to survive another month. It buys safety for your family. It buys the ability to say yes to the life you actually want, instead of sitting on the sidelines watching everyone else live. That is what money does. It does not make you a better human. But it makes being a human easier because you are not constantly in survival mode. You can actually think, plan, and become something greater. Here you are, broke, and still not treating it like the emergency it is. You are living like you have time to waste. You are living like poverty is a phase that will magically end. It will not. If you do nothing, you will be broke at 25, broke at 30, broke at 40, and then you will be the old man with the regrets, telling young people to follow their dreams, while your own life is proof that dreams without execution are just fantasies. The people who escape poverty are not lucky. They are obsessed. They do not accept this is just how it is. They declare war on their situation. They work multiple jobs. They learn at night. They sacrifice comfort now for power later. They understand that being broke is not a personality trait. It is a problem with a solution. And the solution is simple. Become valuable. Learn skills people will pay for. Solve problems people will pay to fix. Build something people will pay to access. Sell, serve, create, and produce anything except sitting and hoping. You cannot buy everything with money. True, but name one important thing you get from it. You cannot build a business without power. You cannot take care of your family without resources. You cannot even yourself before 30 years old and still asking for basic life expenses. Money gives you the foundation to chase everything else. Health. You need money for good food, good care, and time to train. Relationships. You need money to take someone out, to travel, to not be stressed every second. You need money to quit the job you hate and build the life you want. Peace of mind. You need money so that emergencies do not destroy you. Everything you have is either bought or made significantly easier. Stop lying to yourself that it does not matter. It matters more than almost anything because it powers everything. So if you are broke right now, understand this. You are not just poor in your wallet. You are poor in effort, poor in discipline, and poor in vision. The world does not owe you anything. Your situation will not fix itself. You can lack of opportunities, or you can realize that millions of people started with less and still won because they refused to stay down. Get angry. Use that anger as fuel. Look at your empty account and let it disgust you so much that you cannot sleep until you have done something about it. Work like your life depends on it, because it does. Learn, build, sell, try, fail, try again. Become so valuable that money chases you instead of you begging for it. That is the only way out. Not complaining, not waiting, not hoping. Action. Relentless, obsessive, disciplined action until you are no longer the man who cannot afford a piece of bread, but the man who can afford to take care of everyone he loves and still have power left over. That is when respect comes. That is when freedom comes. That is when you finally become the man you were supposed to be all along. Lock in now. Not tomorrow, not Monday, not after this one last weekend of relaxing. Now. This exact second is when your life changes or stays the same forever. You've heard enough. You've watched enough videos. You've consumed enough motivation to fuel a decade of success. Executed none of it. You are full of information and empty of results. That ends now. Locking in means you stop negotiating with yourself. Stop having debates in your head about whether you feel like your feelings are the enemy. Your feelings want you comfortable, safe, entertained, and your feelings are designed to keep you alive, not so stop listening to them like they are giving you good advice. They are not. They are keeping you exactly where you are. stuck, average, and invisible. Locking in means you create non-negotiable rules for yourself, and you follow them like your life depends on it, because it does. Pick a time, non-negotiable. Gym time, non-negotiable. Work hours, non-negotiable. Learning time, non-negotiable. You do not skip because you are tired. You do not skip because it is hard. You do not skip because your friends are hanging out. You lock in and you execute day after day until discipline is no longer a choice. It is who you are. That is when everything changes. That is when you stop being the guy who tries and then become the guy who wins. The guy who tries is still broke in 5 years, making excuses. The guy who locks in is unrecognizable in 5 years because he rebuilt himself completely. Understand what locking in actually costs. It costs your old life. It costs your comfort. It costs lazy friendships with people who do not want anything. It costs sleeping in. It costs binge watching shows. It costs scrolling for hours. It costs blending in with average people. All of that has to die so the new you can be born. And that is the part most people cannot handle. They want the results without the sacrifice. They want the respect without the discipline. They want the money without the work. That is not how it works. You're paid first, then you get paid. Suffer first, then you succeed. You lock in and grind in the dark for months or years while everyone else laughs at you, calls you crazy, and tells you to just relax. Then you emerge as someone they cannot recognize, someone they cannot ignore, and someone they suddenly always believed in. But you will remember who was there when you had nothing, and you will remember who doubted you, and that memory will keep you locked in forever, because you will never go back to being that weak version of yourself. Lock in now means you stop waiting for perfect conditions. You are not going to feel ready. You are not going to have all the answers. You are not going to be fully prepared. Start anyway. Start messy. Start scared. Start broke. Start tired. Just start. Every day you wait is another day someone else is getting ahead. Every day you delay is another day your parents get older while you are still not strong enough to help. Every day you waste is a day you will never get back, and one day you will be 50 years old wondering where it all went, and the answer will be you spent it waiting instead of do not let that be you. Lock in now. Make today the day you look back on and say that was when everything changed. That was done being a joke. Your future self is watching you right now. He's either proud or disgusted. He's either grateful that you locked in and built the foundation for his success, or he is furious that you wasted years he can never get back. Which version do you want to meet? The one who respects you because you fought when it was hard, or the one who hates you because you quit when it mattered most? That decision is happening right now at this moment in how you spend the next hour, next day, and next week. Lock in, stop reading and start doing. Close this, stand up, and take one action right now that moves you forward. One workout, one message, one application, one line of code, one sales call, one page written, something, anything. Action creates momentum, and momentum creates results, and results create respect. That is the only path. There is no secret. There is no hack. There is only locking in and refusing to quit until you become undeniable. Lock in now and do not stop until the world has no choice but to respect the man you can. There is a specific frequency of excellence that only reveals itself to the man who is truly obsessed. Most of you want to be successful like you want to breathe. You don't even have the lung capacity to hold your breath for 30 seconds. The deep-sea treasures of the elite are afraid to get your hair wet. You look at the high-stakes game of global business, of physical dominance, of social mastery. I don't think there are no shortcuts. There is only the long, painful road of becoming someone that the universe cannot ignore. You think the Matrix is just a movie? The Matrix is a set of systems designed to feminized the program and apply it. It wants you to stay and die quietly without ever making a ripple in the ocean of history. Every time you accept the easy path, you are feeding the machine that enslaves you. To lock in is to declare war on that machine. It is to say, I will not be a statistic. I will not be another forgotten soul who spent 80 years consuming and 0 years creating. You have a divine spark of masculinity inside you that is being suffocated by convenience. You have air conditioning, Uber Eats, and infinite pornography at your fingertips. And you wonder why you feel like a shell of a man. It's because a man is designed for friction. We're designed to overcome. When there is no enemy, we become our own enemy. We start attacking our own potential. We start self-sabotaging. We struggle is making us insane. Strive to manage picture that struggle. You put the gym weight on your back until you feel like you're going to snap. You have to sit in front of the screen and solve problems until your brain works. You have to go out and face addiction until your ego is dead. That is the only way to find the fire. Waiting for a sign? This is a sign. You're waiting for a mentor? Look in the mirror and demand more from that person. The elite don't have better brains than you. They have better habits. They have a higher tolerance for pain. They have a longer vision. Longer thinking about
525.
Longer thinking about how you feel. They're thinking about what needs to be done. Success is binary. You either have the results or you have the excuses. You cannot have both. So choose your heart. Being broke is hard. Working your way to millions is hard. Choose one. Being lonely and ignored is hard. Building the discipline to be high value is hard. Choose one. Staying in the same spot for 20 years while everyone else passes you by is hard. Pushing your limits every single day is hard. Everything in this life is a trade-off. What are you willing to trade?
I toss you legit. For the stamina. Pre-workout. Right.
So execute. Start today. Start the second. Look in and never look back. The man you can be is waiting. Back to say, no one's going to come back on this couch and say, hey, it's okay. You're going to be okay. No, I'm not. I'm not going to be okay. I didn't realize I had to take a stand. I had to make a real stand. And it was painful to look at who I was. But the world and myself created. It created a very lonely, depressed, insecure man that would do anything just to have a friend. I wasn't that smart, so I hid there. I hid because I was a black person. I hid because I wanted to be special. I was constantly hiding from people because I wanted to be accepted. And before I hid, there were David guys, and came up. There was no David guys. I was you when I was around you. I was Mary around Mary. I was John around John. There was no David guys. This is when I realized I was. And my reason, I believe now, I know for a fact, was to unlock the code of human addiction. And for me to share that with people. I no longer wanted to be a victim in my mind. I wanted to dominate when most people refused to dominate. I wanted to dominate under the most harsh environment. I had to stop thinking, I had to stop thinking, I can no longer be a common man walking around doing common things. I said, I'm going to die trying. I don't give what it does to me. I don't give a break myself off. I don't care if I push legs. I don't care if I have stress. I don't care what it is. That was that. This reflection mirror could change. This guy in the mirror, because I didn't lie to me, right? I go back to that mirror, and I used to shave my head off at night. And I can sit there 10 minutes with myself in the mirror. And that reflection is telling me everything about me.
What's your weight now? 210?
Squad.
Every day, 24 hours a day, this voice would hear my head. Like, shit, this is gonna get better as your fire, man. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna break myself off, man. Trying to fix this person. And I made a decision to go right in. And a lot of us have this mindset of, balance. But if you want to be part of that sin, I'm sorry to say, you gotta throw that balance shit in the wind. The only way you can do it is if you go all the way in. So the thing about it is, the unbalanced mind allows you to do everything at a level that most can't even fathom. They look at you, they see you grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding, and while they are at this mediocre level, you slowly rise and rise and rise. I became very imbalanced for a long time. For me to get to where I wanted to go, where I had to go, there can be no balance.
We're working on 600.
8 hours a day.
Good.
It's a dark place. And if I would dedicate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so, so, nice and balanced out. Once you change one thing, your mindset, you can attack everything. I started realizing if I can flip these insecurities upside down, if I can flip this fear, if I can flip all this shit that made me this depressed and insecure guy, if I can flip it and make it work for me versus against me, I started seeing the power in failure, the power in insecurity, the power in self-doubt. Because I looked at everybody, it may not be true, that's how I looked at everybody as being way above me. I thought to myself, I can be at the lowest part in the world and soar and be able to overcome all this shit. I started using that as power. And I slowly started passing the guys from Harvard, the guys from MIT, the guys who were these great families and shit. I'm like, oh my God, I'm catching up. I had nothing. So I started flipping it and using this power. A lot of us run away from it. And we box ourselves in to a lifestyle.
25, 37 minutes.
Inside this box. So I'm comfortable inside this box. I was afraid of the work. So gifted with brains. I wasn't gifted with God-given talent. It's called so I knew to be on the same playing field as these men who didn't try out for this program. I knew the worth was going to be something that I didn't even attack. I jumped box. For the first time in my life, basically, I jumped box. Say, hey, I gotta come out here and play. You gotta start diving into those things that you refresh. You gain confidence by going to the spot that makes you feel. See how it falls you out. When the second life gives you that challenge, all you want to do is put that to your place of confidence. Or what gave you confidence? Is that happy song? Now, if you can get through these different variables, gain 5%, 2%, 3%, that 40% becomes 60. That 6% becomes 70, 80, 90. And then you hopefully one day you're 100. I'm giving everything to make all you real. Them knees, you take your feet up, you look up. You have 2 heart circles, you keep on going. Yeah, no. Sure did. I had someone go. I had someone when I got there. And buddy, when mom tell you, you take a break now? That's good. Tell me, hey, maybe chance to get one. Give me an excuse to not do shit. So I have no excuse. It's not. There's a life that many people don't know even exist. Simple. Our brains are keeping us in this box. Outside that box, on the edge of suffering, which on the image of says, is a world that's endless of opportunity. But we are afraid to go outside that box because in that box it's comfortable. That's where all of our nice, that's where the nice 4-lane highways are at. I know where the restrooms are at. I know where the gas stations are at. Outside that box, man, God gives you a shovel. He says, man, start digging. That's not fun. When you dig your own path to all kind of stuff that's unknown. And that's why I started realizing, man, like on the other end of this, it's some beautiful stuff. So I got outside my box going, man, 300 pounds, nothing, Jimmy, 285 pounds, and on the rest of the box was this is nothing. Control over there, I climbed the wall. Once you break these doesn't mean you can do anything now. That what was inside that person was this guy that's in front of you today. That's how scary the mind is. And that's what I started realizing through this journey.
675.
Once I got a taste of, wow, man, I had
675.
what the mind is capable. And I started realizing this on the other end of suffering. That's the real growth of life. Because you realize how the mind processes shit. And I talk about another thing called theory and practice. A lot of people are theorists. These smart guys, they read these books and shit, man, and they sit down and tell you what their mind is supposed to do. And a lot of us listen to that shit. It becomes like, this is it, man. This old man who has been studying the mind forever.
You ready?
This is the cap that we have. By being a practitioner, now it realized a lot of these guys are so wrong, man. Their mind has capabilities that are so unknown about that stuff. Yeah. 67,000 close to
700 down.
against the bar. The bigger the suffering, the more peace. The only way to make it out of it. I mean, you can't just always be, head down in the sand. You gotta learn to pick yourself up on your own. A lot of times, these fights, these battles, you gotta be your own coach, you gotta be your own motivator. I didn't teach myself victory first. I taught myself failure. I taught myself how to fail. That's so depressing, isn't it? You can't read and write. You're how to fail that process. So you know how to fail. I never talked about me. Because I knew the path to winning was to be years. So I taught myself how to fail properly. I would teach you how to fail. But if you're going out as an insurmountable, that makes absolutely says a black kid that can't swim, 300 pound big eggs. You better teach somebody to fail first.
Yeah, get it. Write that down. Coming over here for you guys. Get it.
Every single so how am I going to get up the next when I failed the day before? You're going to have to learn how to get up extremely fast because you are going to have a million setbacks on this journey. When I fail, I can't spend much time in that failure. I have to be able to get up and get active next day just as fast because my goal is to be the next day. I don't have time to stay here and forgot myself for weeks, months, years. It's that time. So the big thing is know that big goals, big dreams, along the way, failure is going to happen. So how fast do you get up from that? You got to teach yourself that. I'm going to fail, we're going to fucking fail, we're going to fucking fail, we're going to fail. Then I will succeed. Once the mind knows you're not going to quit something, it's going to try to find more. It's going to try to give you more. Once it realizes you're not going to take the path of least resistance, you're going to stay here until it's done. My mind and my body and my spirit became one for the first time ever. For the first time ever, it became one. And I went to a level that I never thought should be possible for myself or anybody else. The brain is the most powerful thing. The mind is the most powerful thing that we have. It's not your phone, it's not your computer, it's not anything, it's your mind. If you can tap into that, you can come from the daggone roots of hell. It becomes such a great seed. A powerful seed that can grow into some great daggone garden. Get that, it's all up here.
Oh,
The power and the magic's up here.
750 down. 10 sets left.
There's no explaining motivation. You say, this sucks, I'm drowning, I'm miserable, I'm suffering, I'm broken, but I'm not going anywhere. What happens to your mind is it does this. It says, he's not leaving. So we gotta expand. We gotta grow. We gotta figure this thing out. If you keep on attacking yourself, that thing wants to stay in the front anyway. That is relentless. But the biggest key to success in anything you do is you gotta have a limited supply of food. This drive and passion, and it may come from nothing. Like for me, there was no passion, no drive, nothing. There's no motivation. There's no, oh my God, man, this is no. It's every day of your life.
Mindsets left.
But I have this, that I'm going to be something. And it has to be there because for all those bad days, all those days you don't want to do shit, you have to be your own motivator, your own coach, your own trainer, your own everything. So to do that, you have to come in and work. And work is whatever your work may be, ready to go. What that means is you may have failed miserably yesterday, but you come to work like babies, lost everything. How the hell are you this damn motivated? Because this is what it takes. This is what it takes. You gotta get wherever you can. Whether you make up this illusion of your life, this false reality that you motivate, is gonna be you at all times. Because those dark moments, you gotta pull out. So that's the big thing for me, that I was always fired up at all times. But it's about self-discipline. It's about self-discipline. We tend to do the things that are easy. And that is it builds no mental toughness, it builds no mental hardening, it builds nothing. When you work out, working out is where you can build that the fastest. Because it's a constant, it gives you instant feedback. Yeah, you may not lose the weight you want to real fast, but the discipline it takes, it transfers over to all aspects of your life. You can achieve a lot of shit. You get off your ass, you start motivating yourself. Talk to yourself motivator. You wake up, right? What you need is the one thing I talk about my book. Straight up. Working. I don't take any days off. No days. No days off. 7 days a week. You have to be willing to outwork everybody in the world. Smart. I'm not talented. If you like talent, you can't sit back and say, I start half an hour. I can't do that. I gotta start now. And after I get back from starting, I gotta start again. If I get going down wrong or that study session, don't do that, I gotta go back again. This repetition is what taught me.
Thousand Diamonds every day. We're here every day. Tap in, subscribe.
And I know that most human
Day
beings
81.
go
81,000 push-ups this year. Oh.
Let's say we got shotguns and do a land warfare. And we did it till 1 o'clock a.m. Most everybody go to sleep. They didn't go to sleep. I was a kid. I worked out. Where I go to sleep, let's say maybe at 5 o'clock, let's go 4 o'clock, then an hour in. I made sure they all do that. And they uncomfortable to gain growth. You have to have friction in your life to gain growth. Obstacles is how you grow. You must continue to have friction. Friction is where growth is at. No friction, there's no growth. Through discipline, through self-discipline, through repetition, through tons of repetition, the same thing that you don't want to do. That's the key thing. Through repetition of things you don't want to do, you can develop mental, like an armor for your mind. Start to armor your mind. And I was like, okay, we suffer every day. We can that sucks every day, so then the suck stuff comes. Get ready for it. No, it's your new life. This is who you are.
It's your new life. It's who you are.
Then I started realizing if that's what you this shit ain't hard. How many times I haven't been able to run? Heart surgeries, possible knee surgeries. After every knee surgery, they say I can run. I'm fine. There's no running up here. No. That's just what it's all about. That's what they lost when you can't run. It was never about running. Why do you think I run? It's the worst thing. I hate doing it more than anything. Every day I wake up, I'll just run a mile, 2 miles. It's the one thing I hate the most to do, and I do it like I love it. 250, 60, 300-mile runs at one time, no sleep, in every step. I get to think about this. I hate this shit. After 7 hours, I became obsessed. Repeated that. Oh my God, am I that? I don't care. I believe it. Once you become obsessed with something, obsessed, it's okay to be unbalanced for a while. It's okay. Don't be all this other thing. You gotta be balanced. To be the best in the world. And what you do, don't be an ACL people. The best at what you do, have to be able on every bit of energy and strength that you have to pull it off. Then you get balanced once you become great. Give you open mind to possibilities that I can use. Once you shut your mind down to possibilities that can be changed, no one can help. So my eyes and my body line up about things. Because I know that if you're in a fight, you have to attack. You have to keep attacking. You must build. When you're going to create belief, and belief is like an after school special. Sesame Street, when I was growing up and shit, you believe in yourself. That's not the belief of your own. It's the belief that you harness through hard work and dedication. And it's something that you know what you're capable of because you've gone there several times in those dark times. So my belief, I kept on going back to the ABC training and going back to all these different things, not because I hoped training would get easier. It's because I believed I could make it. Through the training I put myself through, I just wasn't doing and executing as I should. And I knew that it was all on me. So then I got work. And that hard work came to fruition. My journey has pushed me so lonely in my head. It's going to be unseen. No one knows anything about it. See, 1 minute slip. The shit I do on a daily basis gives me that very confidence. Like I said earlier, I know, I built belief that I may have failed, but building that belief knows, I know, I just didn't figure it out yet. Not that I can't do it, I just didn't figure it out yet. And that's what all that is. That also built up an insanely high pain tolerance by having that dog. I'm not so, trust me, man, I was born as a sickly little abused kid, afraid of everything. When I built up that dog, once you built that dog in you, man, the pain, suffering, and the lonely nights, I'm house. The white people in that box over you, dangerous. If you walk in any kind of event, physical or mental, if you walk in already put that fucker in your mind, man, this ain't gonna happen. People go, how did you put 135 miles to death balance? How did you put 100 miles with no training? Because I went into it not thinking I can't do this, man. I went into it with a strategy. I have an open-mindedness. So until your mind is open to the possibilities that I can do this, you would never be able to do it. Once the mind starts to believe it can be achieved, what a separator is that they really want to be there. There's some people that get inspired, and that inspiration moves them to try to do something. But the inspiration is very high right now in this nice environment. We're in a nice environment. She's out there. I'm talking to you. I'm going to go to the refrigerator, get something to drink, eat. I can't. I watch a movie about some badasses. You're inspired. But the second you're not in this environment, and you're actually doing what inspires you, that suck factor is now real. You can't just get off your couch and get a shake or get a box of donuts or turn the TV, or take a shit or pencil.
1,000 reps are off this till tomorrow.